don't sleep with him. Don't do it. And here's why. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with sleeping with someone if you want to, of course. If you don't have the intention of actually dating him, then do whatever you want. But if you take him seriously, then you need to move slow. Most of the time, when guys pursue you at first, it's not because they genuinely like you. Even if he thinks he does, it's not real feelings. It's just lust. He is lusting after you. He doesn't even know enough about you to genuinely like you. You gotta give him more time to discover things about you and have reasons to like you besides just what your body can offer him. You gotta let him lust after you for as long as possible. He needs to spend a lot of time with you and get to know things about you to actually develop feelings. If you get physical too prematurely, most likely, he's going to develop post-nut clarity and realize he didn't actually like you, he just wanted to sleep with you. Men develop romantic feelings while they are lusting after someone. And yeah, there are exceptions to this, but I will say 9 out of 10 times when you sleep with someone on the first date, it's not going to go any further than that because he already got what he was looking for without actually having to work for it. The faster things move, the faster they end. So take it slow. Men are natural pursuers and providers. So if you make him work for it and invest his time, emotions, energy, and money into you, he's gonna feel like he finally accomplished something when you actually take it to that level. And he is less likely to want to give up something that he puts so much energy into. Also, this sends the message that you aren't giving it up easily to other guys. Men are naturally competitive, so if he feels like he had to try really hard to win you over, he will feel like he accomplished something that many other men couldn't. And from personal experience, the guys who I didn't sleep with were the ones who became way more emotionally invested in me. There is a clear difference between a man's behavior when you sleep with him early or when you hold off on it. And I used to be pro do whatever you want, but unfortunately that's just not how things are. And this is also how you can easily weed out the guys who have bad intentions because they won't wait around for you if you aren't sleeping with them. Think of it this way. Do you think people would want to buy all these designer brands if they were cheap? People want them because not everyone can afford them. So if you can afford one, it's like a status symbol. You got to carry yourself like you are Louis Vuitton. And as a girl, because you have a lot of power. You got to be very aware of that power because you can weaponize it to your advantage. I'm not saying you got to play games, but this is just how nature is and how things are. Because you are not playing hard to get, you should be hard to get because you are hard to get.
Hey guys, welcome back again to the channel. So today's topic is a very controversial one because people have different ideology when it has to do with intimacy in a relationship, right? People just have different ideology. Some people prefer to even go all in and give all in from first date, and I understand what she's saying because some people just come to you without understanding if they really like you or not. They just saw you, they're seeing your physical self, and they're like, oh, she's beautiful, she's this, she's that, I think I should just go for her. And once you give in, they don't even know if they like you or not. Okay, it takes a man a while for them to really understand what their feeling is telling them, because at that point it's just your physical that he's seeing, he's been attracted to you, not necessarily liking you at that point in time, right? But some women just don't understand what's like means, love and like, they can't differentiate it, so they just go all into relationship. And when a woman likes you, she likes you for real. She's not there to play games. That's just the problem that we have as women. Anyway, it's controversial, like I said, because everybody have their ideology when it comes to intimacy. Let's just watch these videos, then we'll come back and we talk more about it. Please subscribe to the channel as well.
Do not go and sleep around with people after you just got out of a relationship. I'm mainly talking for long-term relationships, maybe 6 to 8 months or more. When you go sleep with a bunch of people, you're doing it for one of two reasons. You either want revenge and you're like, oh, fuck her, this and that, like I'm gonna go fuck a whole bunch of girls, or because you're trying to fill a void. You're trying to fill that feeling, because the issue is you have been with this person for 6 months, a year, 2 years. That's been your daily habit to always talk to this person, always be with that person and have that person. And now that you don't have it, you're not accustomed to being alone. You're not accustomed to living that life of just being by yourself and not having that person around you. So as hard as it might be to not do because you're not dating anybody, you have all these options, don't fucking do it. It's only going to be a dark path of hedonism that is never, ever going to make it feel better or make the situation better. And if you say you're doing it to just get over her and to get her out of your head, you're fucking weak. And of course, this goes for both guys.
It's very simple. If you're careless with my time, you won't have the same level of access to it. If you're careless with my energy, you won't have the same level of access to it. If you're careless with my information, you won't have the same level of access to it. In fact, anything to do with me that you're careless with, you won't have the same level of access to it. And before you get mad about where we are, take a moment to just think very carefully about the detailed journey that we took to get here.
You're about to observe your husband. Your husband is going to observe you. Okay? There's certain things that are about to change in your life. And you need to remember this. I don't care what you did in the past. I don't care how many relationships you might have had in the past, what you think is your, experience, how good you think you look, what you think you can put it on your husband and do this and do that. Close your legs. Keep them closed. Don't open them. Close your legs. Okay, I gotta put my mouth like this and my lip disappears. Close your legs. Somebody, you're about to link up with your husband. Your husband is about to meet you. If you haven't met him already, there's going to be a greater depth, a greater level of intimacy. And I got to tell you this. Close your legs. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. Just like me, I'm a mum. I was a single mum when I met my husband. So obviously I couldn't say, oh, I'm a virgin. I've never done this before. It's a bit obvious that that's not true. Show up how you are now, who you are now. That's who needs to show up. Even if your standards have changed, your boundaries have changed, and, people might want to judge you and think, oh, but you did this before, and, so why can't we do this? And I'm going to say people. Your husband might even have these questions and put these questions to you. So why, if you did that before, why aren't you doing that now? It's because I have wisdom now. Because I understand myself now. Because I love myself now. And before, I didn't love myself. Somebody you've leveled up and you need to act like it. And this is the reason why your husband is going to marry you. This is the reason why he places you above every other woman. You're not conceited in that, oh, I'm too good for anyone. And, if you want to be with me, you've got to marry me because I'm just too good. And I've never been with anyone before and I'm just too good for you. There's no conceit here. He understands. He sees the wisdom in you. He sees that you've experienced things that were not favorable, but he respects who you've become. So I need to remind you, I don't care how good looking this man is, because trust me, I know your husband, the Lord will send you a man that he will blow your mind in terms of the looks department. He will be the epitome of everything that you've ever looked for, wanted in a man. And it will be, oh, my ovaries, I just can't do this anymore. You're just amazing. You need to chill out. You got to calm down, and you got to remember this message. Keep your legs closed. And it's not just because of what you want your husband to think. You've got to realize that you're not doing things like how you did before. You want to be favored. You want your marriage to be favored. You want the Most High to be a part of this. That regardless of what is happening, you need him to establish you both. Therefore, you must follow his rules. You need to be in a covenant, written covenant before the Lord, written by both of you, what you are agreeing upon for one another, to one another, in terms of how you're going to live out your life as a married couple. You joining together as one in the mind, spiritually, psychologically, before it happens physically. Esther, you're about to be chosen by the king, okay? You're about to be chosen by the king. And what's going to make you stand out is not because, I'm carrying my degrees with me, and, I've got long hair, and this is weave, so. And I got clear skin, and no, I don't. And I got my nails done, and I definitely don't. And I do this, and I've got all of that, and I've done this, and I'm great, and I'm this. You ain't carrying nothing but humility. I used to be like this. I never will go that way again. I've learned, and I believe I'm enough for my husband. I don't need to do anything out of God's timing, because I believe in him, I trust in him, and I want him to be part of our marriage. And your husband, he will wait for you. He's going to appreciate that. Finally, I found a woman that is different, that is set apart, that is nothing like I've ever met before in my life. And I need to put a ring on it and make sure it's a nice Indian gold. You hear me? Joking. But guys, I just got to speak that to somebody. Your husband is about to observe you. Intimacy is about to develop. But you need to remember something. I don't care how good he looks, all right? Keep your legs closed. I don't care how the date went or what happened, or if he wants to come home with you, keep your legs closed. I wouldn't even advise that. Me and my husband, we never, before we got married, even was together alone, in that kind of capacity. We were always in public together because he's just fine. He is like, delicious. And I'm going to behave right now, but he is absolutely gorgeous. And I just got to thank the Lord for that. And I'm the type of person, I'm just talking from my own personal experience, okay? I never was that type of person where, I have a type and I only go for my type. And I never really used to think about it like that. I used to base things on, if you're a kind person, you're kind to me, I'll give you a chance. And I'm not really caring about looks and stuff like that. Because I never idolized that, that's why I believe the Lord gave me more than I even expected for myself, Now, don't get me wrong, obviously I think I'm cute and nice, but in terms of my ideal type that I never ever shared with anyone, that is my husband. So I don't believe, sometimes I watch videos and hear people say things like, it's not about looks and blah, blah, blah. If you was a person that looks was everything for you, then fair enough. That I was never that person. So I don't want to be rude, but I'm not saying don't shortchange yourself. Trust that the Lord is going to exceed your expectations. He's going to do exceedingly and abundantly more than you could think or even ask, okay? Remember that. That's scripture. But ultimately, you must seek first the kingdom of God and its righteousness in this relationship. Put righteousness first, not your feelings, not your desires. Put righteousness first, because the Lord is going to be the one that keeps you two together, okay? And your husband, he has been waiting for a woman like you. Not that he will wait for you in terms of marriage. He's been waiting for a woman like you. Okay? I need you to remember that. But yeah, I just got to speak that to somebody. Keep your legs closed. All right.
If you want a man to fall in love with you, don't sleep with him. It's the easiest cheat code in dating, but somehow it seems to be going over our head as women. Men enjoy women who have sex with them, but respect women who have boundaries. If a man is desirable, he's going to have lots of women who are ready to sleep with him. If you sleep with him, you do not stand out in the slightest. Men do not take time to get to know you after the fact of sex most of the time. Men will judge you on whatever you show them initially, and if what you show them initially is the inside of your vajayjay, that's what they're going to judge you on. They are going to believe that that's how you operate in the dating scene, and they are going to look at that and say, I don't want a type of woman who behaves like this. Because what a lot of women do is try to show men their value after the fact. Let me be the first to tell you that men do not care. Especially desirable men, because they have hella options. So the same interaction that you think you're having with him, he could be having it at the same time with 5, 10, 15 other women. The only way to stand out is to be different. It is not easy to be an exception to the rule. Sometimes it just happens to you, but often it is a result of your behavior and your patterns that make a man realize that you are not like these other girls. It's not by mouth alone. Men have a lot of advantages in this dating scene, and I feel like someone saw that and said, okay, let me give women an equal power so they can stand toe to toe with these men. That equal power is sex. And ladies, we are wasting it. We are not using it properly. Let a man show you who he is. Let him show up consistently over a long period of time. I'm talking about 4 to 6 months of phone calls daily, seeing each other multiple times a week. Please don't ask me about long distance relationships. I don't believe in them because I do not think men can do them unless they have been with you for a while before you even started a long distance relationship, and even then. But do your due diligence. Make a man show you who he is before you give up your greatest weapon, which is your box. And people will come and say, oh, there are men who will wait for years and they'll still sleep with you. Okay, what does that mean? Does that mean you don't have to do your due diligence? Does that mean you just sleep with every man that comes around? No. Hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself to a standard, because the only person you can control in this life is yourself. And the reality is, if you're operating in that mindset, you're going to be more willing and more open to see and act on red flags. Nobody in this life owes you anything. Yes, people should give you basic care and basic respect, but the reality is when it comes to sex, men are ready to cross those boundaries. So be vigilant. And part of being vigilant is keeping your legs closed, because the minute you open your legs to a man, you have lost your power, especially if he does not like, care, or respect you. Now,
Well, are there exceptions to this? Yes, there are, because there are some people who end up having this intimacy from the beginning of the relationship and the end of getting married. At the end of the day, it happens, right? But it's very rare, trust me. It can't even take longer years. If a relationship is supposed to last for a few months before the man commit, before you know it take a long while. Why some people it happens for them, it's just luck, right? But what I am trying to say is that you should just understand, try to give the relationship time to understand what you guys are getting into, because tell me the reason why you get into a relationship right now. Just meet somebody today, you're having sex the next day, then next tomorrow the same thing, and you're meeting somebody next week, the person after that you're having an intimacy with the person next. How many people are you going to count at the end of the year? So all of these things are just what you have to come in terms with before you can say, oh, okay. So understand who you're dealing with, what kind of person are you having a relationship with. This will really help you to make your choice. Now, remember, whatever you choose to do is your body, your choice, your life, your decision, right? But I'm just telling you, and these creators have also come here to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. But sometimes this might work for you, sometimes it might not work for you. But you guys make your decision. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section, right? If you have watched to this point, then drop your comment in the comment section. Let's have a conversation. Do you think it's okay for people to have intimacy with people they're not really legally married to? Okay, or they should just keep jumping from one man to the other until whenever they finally meet Mr. Right. Let's know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I'll be here to read from you. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, do well to hit that subscribe button and be part of the family. And do give this video a thumbs up as well. See you guys on my next video. Bye, guys.